for, and I met and love your daughter so much. What would tell us, what was it like being a WWE superstar? Because it's a lot more common now, and I love that. I actually want to write about it, but what was it like for you being a mom, being a WWE superstar, and trying to juggle both? What was that like for you?
It was hell. It really was. It was really a hard time in my life because the girls were very used to the WWE schedule. They were the pros. What I had trouble with was leaving them with a nanny and having the nanny raise them when I wasn't home. And that was something that was heartbreaking for me because I missed school programs. I missed their sporting events. I missed their dates, or just things that happened in their life that they would call and tell me. And that was the hardest part because I was living the life that Eddie would cry for because he was missing so much of their life. And and the nannies I had, and I write in my book, I had a crack nanny and I had some good nannies. So I went through the good and bad, and some were really great, but at the same time they were taking my place, and I take a lot of pride in being a mom. So to sit back and know that this is what I signed them up to be, with someone who's going to take care of my children while I was gone, I had to have a lot of compromise and a lot of calmness because it was their way and they did a great job, but at the same time, it wasn't my way. So to not be around as much and to miss so much of their growing up. My girls were going through junior high and high school, and that was really difficult for me because they got bullied. There was the bad grades. There was the sneaking out at night. There was the, sneaking liquor, from the house. There was, I had everything go on. And so by the grace of God, we got through it. But if I could go back, I wouldn't choose that time of their age to leave that time in the house. It was really hard. So, and you try and calm down fights and their heart being broken, and school and teacher conferences over the phone. I couldn't go into the school to talk to faculty. I took a lot of beating for that, and emotionally, and so that was really hard for me to be a single mom and to try and handle keeping the nanny happy and my daughters and me to keep my job and, to have that face put on, you put that facade on like, oh, everything's great, and inside I'm just dying because things at home are just really rough.
Is there any wisdom that you can give for other single parents that even though they may not be WWE superstars, but they are working crazy hours to try to pay the rent, to try to put clothes on their kids when they're constantly growing, and the struggles and the guilt of, missing this or not being able to do that or afford this and the stress? Is there something that you learned that you think might be helpful for some of the single parents listening?
Yeah, the biggest part that I would really emphasize is to sit and just listen to your kids, because I think that that was something I regret, is that I never had a lot of time to sit and talk to them, because I would come in on a Wednesday, Thursday was my day off, and then Friday I was back on house shows again. So I was going off on the road from Friday through that following Wednesday. And so wow. Times to sit down and talk with the girls and really listen to what was going on, instead of hearing, oh no, don't worry, the nanny knows what's going on. Yeah, she took care of it. And I'd be like, well, no, let me know. It's really something, it's time you can't take back and make up for it. So I really think that, especially with the kids today, and even with my daughters, they're 29 and 24, the bullying and the mental awareness and how kids want to identify themselves and how the struggles they have with boyfriends and girlfriends and who they're attracted to. I think that really is an important aspect of a children's well-being, is for that adult to show that kid that you're sitting down, your eyes are on them, you're not on your phone, you're not on the computer, and you're just holding their hand and you're just saying, I'm here, tell me what you're feeling. And I think that's just really important to do. And I still do that with my 29-year-old, and she's married, and my 24-year-old. And it just makes a big difference in the day when they know that there's someone that's sitting down and taking all the distractions away and saying, tell me what you feel. And they may not want my feedback. And that's the most important thing, because as parents, we can't lash back at them. We have to just be still and let them be that person of how they're feeling, and let them express, good or bad, what it may be, but to let them know, hey, I'm here and I'm going to listen to what you have to say.
I love that. I think that is amazing advice. We're taught that when I was a preschool teacher, we were taught the emphasis of listening, regardless of how old the child is. If they have something they want to say, it's important that they see a parent not condescending to a child, but actually getting on their level and just listening. It doesn't matter, like, you don't have to be able to relate to it. You don't even need to say anything. It's just the act of actually being there and listening, and it shows them respect and, self-confidence.
Yeah, they're loved,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that doesn't cost anything. That costs $0. I mean, that's irreplaceable, like you were saying, as opposed to an Xbox where the very following year there's going to be another newer, more expensive one. But you can't replace that self-love and the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. I think that will help a lot of people. And like you said, it doesn't matter how old they are. Like, I love that too. Just like sitting down with someone and be like, hey, and they just listen. And then they can be like, well, do you want feedback, or did you just want to vent and be heard? That's amazing.
Yeah,